Very good. There we go, everyone. Of course, more My Hero Academia, episode 5, season 7. Yeah, it's like a lot of episodes now. In total, episode 143, right? 143. Start any moment here now. Just commercial break. I'm just gonna get the mic a little bit timer up. There we go. So, yeah, so just commercial break now. Ready to start at the moment. Let's go get Todoroki up there. Oh yeah. Yes. It's got Panda commercial. Oh, this is weird, man. So this is the Ryan Reynolds, but it's Japanese dubbed. Yeah. Blue Daishobu. Here we go. Bam! Academia. But that was strange stuff, because obviously that new Ryan Reynolds movie, right? But he's like dubbed, of course, in Japanese TV. Obviously I'm used to hearing him in his normal English voice. Oh, okay. Let's get started. Oh, it's like some abandoned house. It's probably one of the bad guys. Oh, it's Toga's house. Toga-chan. Oh, it's too low there. Is it Toga's house, I guess? Yeah, it's like Toga's family house. She grew up. Yeah. She's having all these like flashbacks. The parents screaming at her, right? Little Toga. Of course, Toga has a backstory of his, you know, weird quirk that made her do weird stuff. This is her, I guess. Shattered room, I guess. Yeah, here we see. Yeah, I feel I'm perfect having my Toga here. Yeah, I'm like, let's go, Toga-chan. Yes. She's dreaming of the bloody bird. This is Cat Toga. It's always like a tournament. Oh, the blood. Yeah, I'm dreaming of drinking the blood of the bird. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah. It'll be awesome. It's like, get damn it, Toga. Get damn it, stop it. Oh, yeah, now it turns into some kind of weird, like, blood blob or something. Oh, it's Silent Hill flowers. Yes, the licorice. Yes, Urushi, definitely. Yes, definitely Urushi Toga. She's always like, yeah, it would be awesome. Yes, it would be awesome. It would be awesome. Okay, she leaves. Okay, Dub is here. Dub is here burning her. Yeah, throw some burns, man. I was gonna burn the house now, which surprised me. He said, don't worry, I will burn your house now, yeah. It's like, it's a family-friendly thing. Yeah, exactly. I knew it. I called it, man, I called it. He's like, abandon your past. See? He's just a friendly dude, man. Yeah, it's like, I burn down your homes. Yeah, for your sake. It's like, come on. Clearly best friends, man. She knows twice, you know. So Davi is like, I'm your best friend now. I got you, girl. Yeah, I got your back. Look at this. I call him, and he's like, I'm your new best friend. It's very Toga-chan. Yes, obviously leveled up her powers there time. Yeah, I mean she leveled up her powers, right? Because now she can transform into people and use the quirks as well. Yeah, like a mimic power. Yeah, and of course that blood is like twice, right? Yeah, Dab is like there's twice power, right? Which she of course doesn't want to use then, I guess. They've been holding out on us. It goes opening. But I guess that she's been holding out, right? She kept that twice, like sample, and she probably was gonna use it. But yeah, hello bro. Good, it's always like, Saturday morning is My Academia, yeah. Let's see the chat. But maybe she can make more Togas then. Or will it just become twice? Yeah, it's like a step thing, right? Because if she copies his powers, he can make more of himself, so she can make more of herself, or she can... I mean, potentially she might be able to revive twice by, like, turning into twice and then cloning herself, right, with his powers. Potentially. It's like a weird how they actually interact, right? Because they both have, like, copying powers. Yeah, she got, like, I copy quirks, and he got, like, I can copy myself, so it's like double copying. But his spinner, he's just like, something is screaming at me from the dark end. No, Shobu! It's like, yeah, okay. This guy's like, all the fingers. Spinner, run, spinner. That poor guy goes and leave this crew, man. He's just like, yeah, this sounds really healthy. It's like, spinner is like, no, Shobu! It's like, yeah, you okay, right, bro? Jesus Christ, spinner, you leave, man. It doesn't feel like Spinner just like, why am I still part of this? It's like every episode Spinner's like, why am I still part of this? Yeah, every time he Spinner's just like, why am I still doing this thing for? Yeah, now he's just standing here like, can I leave? Somehow he managed to survive every fight basically, like, doesn't do much, yeah. He says like, can I finally leave this thing? He does, they skipped over part of his backstory though in the anime. He's a little more established character in the manga, I would say, but obviously it's like Spinner flashback in Spinner and Stain and so on. What was this? Spinner's key to be stronger? Yeah, because Spinner doesn't do much. Yeah. Spinner's just kind of there, right? It's like, take this. Okay, takes it. I would like to Spinner. I don't know if I want him to leave them or I want him to like be more evil. If it's like character's very indecisive, like I don't know exactly what he wants to do actually. Okay. There's a plasma thing now. Yeah, suddenly we jump to like normal civilians. But yeah. So it's some kind of... But I think this goes back to, the Navy laser will now give them false information, right? Now suddenly like a really weird flashback, I don't know, the anime, so that's right. The anime has new weird flashback things. So suddenly went into like, Deku fight from season 2 or something. I don't know, it's like weird flashbacks. But anyway, now we're back at the house again. He dies like that. Best character! I think it's best bro. I like the new take on it, the grape the grape thing in his hair now. Oh yeah. Her hairstyle is back though. Ulrika-chan, yeah, because she had a new hairstyle last episode, right? Let's flashback to her protecting Deku. Let's flashback to that. There's so many flashbacks now. Yeah, they really changed the formula. Good. All Might interrupts him. That's good, All Might, man. Deku was finally gonna get some. Yeah, here we go. Now All Might's gonna like, oh, Navy laser, we're doing it. I hope so, did. Come on. Huh? Nope. That goes like a whore girl. Yeah, some random civilian looks like a whore girl. But anyway. Best character, man. She's thick, man. We need more of that character. She needs to be a new main character. Yeah, Meowms, man. The MILFs. That's the guy I saw earlier. That guy that was like, yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, this guy is like, yeah, so. He's gonna see him. Man, it's the best. I want to say move that like, what is she, like a donkey or something? She's the best character, everyone knows that. Clearly best character, yeah, clearly best character. Yeah, Quota-kun. Quota-kun is there, but we all care about the thick lady, come on. Quota-kun is alright, but the lady that hugged Deku, she's the real hero, come on. Did we ever get her name? Was that woman last season? Of the woman that's like huge, with the huge assets? Jesus Christ, man. My god, Mom. My god, Mom. Yeah, she's out of the house now, I guess. Yeah, she's still there out of the house. More moms. Man, there's a lot of moms suddenly. Yes, moms. This is what is her name? But why is she saying is it his mom? Is that what she is? Is that how it combines? Eri-chan. More Eri-chan. My god. And Quota-kun, of course. And then some random civilians. But yeah, it was like a bunch of moms, and then we saw the thick lady. It's like, is that his mom then? Come on. I'm like, yeah, like we never see her. I don't think we ever got her name right. I don't think we ever got her name. She's just like this super thick lady. I all got one box each. It's like I got all of my stuff in one box. Urika Rice. Standing on the cliff on the Musi. Now she can't fly though, so if she would fall down from the cliff it would be like anti-gravity, but oh, is he finally gonna tank her? Oh yeah. Could be a confession scene. I don't think so at all, but yeah, I mean, I like you or anything. Yeah, it's not like because I love you or anything. Come on. It's like I'm feeling like confessing scene. Come on, do it, Deku. This is the final chance you have here. Come on, this is adorable. This is adorable. Oh, you're not hen. Come on, do it, Deku. Confess to her. Yeah, you're the best. You're the best person ever. Come on. No, you're cool. Come on, this is like some obvious confession shit. Yeah, no, Deku is like, no, you're amazing. You're my favorite person. Yeah, she's gonna motivate. Talk about her fight with Toga and so on. Come on, like, this is just so shown in anime. We know that even this like an obvious like time to confess to her, nothing will happen. You know, like I'm just. Yeah, I don't really believe nothing's gonna happen here, right? It's the perfect moment to tell her, but no, he's gonna be like, yeah, you're right, you're a strong, independent warrior lady, yeah, that's right. It's all about Toga instead. Man, there's much flashbacks now. I feel you can now ruin the scene a bit by throwing in like 20 flashbacks in it. Yes, Deku's like, yeah, now I'm gonna save Shigaraki. That makes no sense, but I'm gonna do it. Yes, that's my plan, to save the bad guy. So he's beating him, yes. And we're both weirdos, that's good. We're both bunch of weirdos, yes. We're both weird, that's good, yes. We both have weird plans here. That's correct. We're both idiots. Todoroki is like, yeah, I'm also a weirdo. Yeah, the Bakugo. You're right, Bakugo, bro. We both weirdos. It's like, yes, we're all weirdos. I could commercial break. Very late commercial break. But whatever. Bam. Commercial break. But yeah, like that scene was cute, right? But they certainly had this, like, this is weird, you know. Weird indeed. No, but I mean, it's just a classic tropey shonen anime thing, right? Where it takes them like forever, you know, to ever get a girlfriend, a boyfriend, or whatever, right? It's like this scene is so obviously like they're running up to her, and she's just like, "Oh, you're amazing, Ulrika-chan. You're my best friend. I mean, I don't love you. Yeah, I mean, immediately it's like it's just obvious, like, oh, I'm gonna confess to her. But at the same time, it's like, oh no, I mean, like, I didn't mean it like that way, you know. It's like, oh, it's just so silly. It's just like, yeah, and then she kind of talks about, yeah, they're both gonna save their enemies or whatever, and so sure, then it turned into some kind of their, yeah, both their obsession of their how they're gonna save the planet, and stuff, which is weird. But anyway, no, start again, drunk. But it is. I said that last week, but they clearly changed the formula of flashbacks. Right? So now they have like 20 flashbacks per episode. That's to be short instead. Yeah, now they have a bunch of very short flashbacks instead in the episodes, which is like, yeah, I don't know about that really. If that's a good strategy, I don't know. I'm not feeling Kanye number 8, bro. I'm not feeling Kanye 8 at all. I think it's just like meh. It was okay last episode, but. So what's this evil plan now then? It's always some evil scheme, man. I like it better goes evil smiling. He's always like evil smiling. He only has his mouth left. There's no eyes. So but he got the evil smile left. Very important. Yeah, he got evil smiling. Yeah, very important, man. See, he got the evil smile left. But now I guess he might be hearing information for Naval Laser then that's incorrect. Maybe for his mom or something. Yeah, maybe for his parents, but. My hearing, yeah, exactly. I call it. It's Naval Mama. Yeah, Naval Mama is calling in fake information here, right? Of course. So they want to go to jail for life, you know, right? So she's obviously like, oh, I lied to him. Where is he gonna imprison me and my son and also for husband? Yeah. Exactly. Naval Mama, man. She's like, I got this. There is Naval Laser. So he's probably gonna be like, I'm sorry, Deku. Now you sheets, bros. This is probably him just being like, yeah, this is probably just Naval Laser being like, I'm sorry for being a bad friend or something. All about Naval Laser, but you know I love him, man. All these sad scenes. Almost Naval Laser, man. Yeah, it's like, I'm destroying Japan. Is it a stock market? Is it Nikkei or something? Yeah, I guess it's a stock market. I mean, sure, the stock market is probably terrible in Japan. Think about it. Like, they're destroying the cities every time. The Nikkei has probably collapsed. very realistic part here of My Academia. They're like, you know what? Thanks to my action, I broke the stock market. It's a flash crash and it's never going up again. Yeah, but seriously. Honestly, we never really thought about that, but yeah, given how much destruction has happened now in the later seasons, I guess Japan is like bankrupt now because, yeah, they're having, he's like, Nippon is destroyed, bro. Have you looked at the Nikkei? Yeah, Nikkei is broken. He broke the Nikkei. It probably is what's happening though, right? You know what I mean? Because who would invest in Japan if it's like every week some super villain destroys half the town? You're like, yeah, great. Everyone would stop investing in Japan, right? It would be impossible to like, yeah, no one making the money anymore. And that was like a baseball analogy for some reason, but it's like a 1 hour analogy. Oh yeah, I see. The baseball is actually the planet. But it's actually a pretty good point though that if he destroys Nikkei, the stock market index of Japan, he probably will also destroy the general global. Eventually, the global market will be destroyed too, right? Because it's like no goods are coming out, so on. But I don't know. Japanese stock market is pretty big, but I don't know if they actually would destroy the planet if you would destroy just Nikkei, because yeah, it's not big enough. It feels. Okay, another sad knave. Is it triple betraying them or something? I don't even know anymore with Naval Laser. What? Is he? But I think he's part of the plan. I don't even know anymore, Naval Laser. I don't even know anymore. Is he betraying you again or something? Is this like, I'm saving my parents by betraying you or something? But this might be part of the plan. Honestly, I don't know anymore. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he's like, I'm betraying you again. I'm sorry. But honestly, I don't know if this betrayal is real or not. Yeah. Is this betrayal real or not? This probably... He tried to shoot him at least, but that didn't probably do much. Yeah. See? I don't think Naval is betraying them, because if he's like a... Is he betraying them? He's like, I'm gonna fight you, man! That's right, man! That's good! We can take him! Super confident Naval Laser, like, I can take him! Yeah, this is my plan! He's like, yeah, great plan! Oh, I believe in this! That is good. He's like, I can take him myself! Exactly, I can do it! I will solo him! But this is what I mean. Like, first it felt like he was betraying Deku, but like, come on, no, I see it, I told you. He's betraying all for one, right? Not Deku. And yeah, hello. Hello, Kilo, yeah, we just got the betrayal here. But I'm guessing more heroes will appear soon, right? Because if it's really strange if Naval is like, oh, I'm tricked Deku here by himself. And now he's summoning Nomus, maybe? With a weird blob. Yeah, because he got like warp blob power, right? He got like the, yeah, oh yeah, okay, not Nomus then. It's Toga-chan. She looks, I don't know. Dam is always like excited, but then I'm sure Ulrich, they call Nomus. So I was like, where's the Nomus, right? I was like, yeah, where's the Nomus? Oh, yeah, okay, he summons everyone. Okay, he summons like the whole gang here. Yeah, and he's like, haha! I also got so many powers! If he's very like the Avengers scene where they're like, oh, I also got pros! That's right! Yeah, but he can mimic powers. I got Double with me! Oh my god, here we go. I got all the top heroes. I got, oh, Mrs. By the back, Broken Miracle. And Fat Gum. My god, it's a goosebump scene when Aaron's coming in here. Because the episode's ending now, but I love it. Naval is like, I got my own friends! There we go. Oh my god, the last scene is a goosebump to max, man. But it was kind of obvious though. Naval is like, oh, you can summon people? I can summon people! Oh, that was good. That was good, man. Unfortunately, it was the very last scene, right? It was at the very last moment there when he's like, I'm summoning everyone! Oh, that was beautiful. It's like, I got this, bro. But yeah, it was nice, man. It was nice. He's like, I got the whole team coming here. I also like to see everyone else coming too, right? But yeah, let's review it. But I like that we see that Everon is coming after as well. I mean, it's not just like the hero. I mean, not just like the basic. What can we say, right? Whatever, Ulrich. No, it's like Miracle. It's all the best heroes right coming out, as well as some of course the students and like Fat Gum and so on, right? But anyway, just put it over there. So this is the final frame. Yeah, so it's a nice final bit there, right? We see all of them coming out there. Beautiful scene. everyone's coming in, but it seriously felt a lot like the Avengers scene. Yeah, like, I immediately was like, this really reminds me a lot of that scene where Thanos is like, I'm summoning my army. And then like, I also got friends. So like everyone comes in there. Right? It's like, yeah, this is basically the same thing here. He's summoning in all the bad guys and all the good guys at the same time, right? But great scene. We see. Before that scene, though, it was important, right? Because Navis is crying and so on, and I guess correctly, right? Because first, the Navis is a crying scene. It felt like, oh, he's like betraying Deku again. He's like quadruple edged. He's like betraying Deku, betraying all. It's a little bit like unsure what side he was on. Because it's like, ha, you know. But no, I guess correct, of course, that he was just pretending to betray Deku, and actually, no, we're here to summon all the good guys, right? Certainly. And as I saw in the episode, it's a lot about like Toga, right? Of course, focus on her and Urikara. So I'm sure that the other heroes, I mean the training, so to speak, the students will appear, right? Because obviously Toga will have to fight Urikara, you know. Todoroki will have to fight, you know, his brother and so on, right? So certainly more people will appear, right? Because in this image here, right, we saw all the more seasoned heroes coming in, but I'm sure the students will also come in later as well, right? And I see that Nedio Hado, she has her hair, right? Yeah, she has a new hairstyle. Doesn't she? 4 little cowlicks instead. I don't know, but in this season started, most characters changed their hair, yeah. And of course Miruko has lost one of her ears then, and it's a cyborg now. Yeah, the whole Miruko scene last season, you're like, my god damn it, man. Yeah, now she has like a cyborg hand, right? But we've been spoiled on that though, of course, when we saw what's it called, the trailer, right, earlier this year, right? We saw the trailer there. Then it was like, oh yeah, this is spoiled now. But yeah, I'm hoping the Endeavor can take him out, right? Can't always rely on All Might all the time. Yeah, Endeavor gotta come in there and win it. But yeah, next episode, that's gonna be really hyped though. Absolutely. Next episode's gonna be freaking fire. This episode, and I will say this thing, I don't think the episode was bad or anything, but it certainly has felt a little bit kind of slowish since the Stars and Stripes, yes. Stars and Stripes, that never happened, yeah. But I feel the episode's been a little slow since Star, right? So episode 1 and 2 had Star, you know, and that was, she died, but whatever. Let's ignore that. And then these 3 last episodes, 3, 4, 5, it's been a little bit like they're obviously building up to this fight, right? You know, it's been a lot of build up. So next episode is probably gonna be a lot of action. Also, hopefully, better budget too, right? Like better animation and so on as well, right? Now we see all the cats coming back here, and we did see Ragdoll last week. Right? They see her friend, you know, the cats and so on, right? So yeah, all of the cats are coming back here. So hopefully, next episode's gonna be this a huge fight, right? But it's probably gonna be like a massive fight. Even we also saw, of course, how he's summoning a bunch of characters I didn't even recognize. I mean, yeah, of course, first it's like, oh, here comes Toga and Nemus or whatever, right? But then there was like a bunch of other characters behind them in this, he's like warping blob thing. That was like, oh, these are some nobodies. So I'm sure he has somehow, you know, managed to pick up like 50 new minions that can fight for him. It is a little interesting, actually, if you think about it at any depth, really, because he always seems to be able to pick up some random evil nobodies, right? All for one. Yeah, he got like a 50 or 100 or so of like this guy with like the beast quirk or something. Some random people, they don't have like really good quirks, but they got somewhat decent quirks, and they somehow, he got like, you know, a lot of them. Always, yeah. Every season it's like, I got 50 new bad guys that does something. And then they will just immediately lose, basically. Yeah, and I'm sure, right? I'm sure that like 99% of those new bad guys that he summons are all gonna lose this fight. Yeah, they never gonna be shown again. Yeah, they have like 1 quirk each, which are pretty mediocre, and they're gonna lose and they're gonna get captured. Like, certainly, very likely, right? Well, it is true that they had a prison break, I suppose, last season. So I guess most of these guys might be like prisoners that he maybe picked up or something. Maybe something like that. But whatever. What more happened in the episode before I forget here? Honestly, the last thing was really hype, right? Yeah, of course, we talked about the early race report. The Urikara and Deku scene, right? When they're doing all like, oh no, maybe I can date her or something. I mean, it's like, yeah. It's like, yeah. I wonder if I managed to take it down. whatever. But yeah, you know that scene, right? This scene was great too, though. Let's put it to about it. This scene I like too, though. But yeah, first of all, the Urikara Deku scene was just like, yeah. It was pretty cute, and it was like we must have weirdos, yeah, we were weirdos. But at the same time, right, it felt very cliche. It's like, oh, he could easily confess to her here. He can be like, I like you or something. And he's like, no. He's like, oh, you're my best, you're so awesome, but I was like, ah. Oh. I'm sorry, but it's like, oh, it's so cliche, right? They're both of the characters are like, oh, we can't just confess to be like each other, even it's super obvious, and so on. But whatever, I digress, but it's just like what it is. I like this in here, though. Just after that scene, right, we started talking about the stock market, so it's Nikkei, of course, stock market in Japan, which is famously pretty terrible. And I have money in Nikkei, so I'm saying nothing more, but Nikkei is like famously, it's actually interesting from a historical aspect, because Nikkei is the stock market that collapsed, of course, and the Japanese economy has been bad ever since then, right? And it's been on recovery. But the thing is that Nikkei is like the only big stock market in like on the planet that has like collapsed and hasn't really returned back to its former state. It is higher now, I believe, than when it crashed, but it took like 30 years or something. So Nikkei is actually kind of, yeah, so Japan actually, historically, Japan really does have like a unique stock market, because every other stock market in every other country has basically is basically higher, so to speak, than a previous crash. And Nikkei had the only one that took like 30 years to get up there. So it's like a record of bad stock market, actually, in a lot of ways. But seriously, right, because the Japanese economy has been very, very stagnant. It was like this huge crash, and then it took them so long time to get back, right? For example, when stock market crashed in America during like Corona, right, it recovered in like half a year or something like that, you know what I mean? Like SPY 400 or Dow Jones, so on, yeah, they recovered in like a maximum a year, right? Probably less than that. So Nikkei is famously has huge issues, right? And so I feel that's a little bit what he was alluding to, generally speaking, right? Because it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna crash stock market, this is going terrible and so on. But because again, yes, Japanese stock market is like uniquely bad, actually, honestly. And I won't say you should invest in it, whatever. But I'm just saying that historically seeing, right, Japanese stock market is like the slowest stock market to recover from a crash, I think. At least in the 20th century, so it's like really bad in that sense. But these days, though, it has recovered, though. But I mean, like up to now, basically, in the latest years. But that being said, though, like I said, my reaction part, I find it interesting too, because it's like, well, yeah, I guess the stock market would be really terrible. It's also something really, I'll say, they don't really discuss this very much in the show, right, or in similar shows to that. But it will be kind of obvious that in My Academia, it is very clear that Japan is some kind of epic center of quirk wars or whatever, right? All the other countries in the world seem to be way more stable for some reason, and they don't have, all for one and one for all. They don't have all the weird quirks, I suppose, right? It doesn't feel like it's all cray-cray or so on. So, like, why would you invest in the Japanese market, right? So I like this in a lot, actually, because this should have been probably mentioned earlier in the show. It's like, yeah, probably terrible. The economy is probably really, really bad in Japan. How can they afford all the buildings at UEA and so on? Yeah, because, I mean, think about it, right? This is the country that has the most quirk fights, right? The most weird powers, and the most, the most, like, criminal underworld with powers and so on, right? This is Japan up in this universe, right? Yeah, they blow up buildings and houses all the time. It's like, why would you invest in Japan? Because it's like half this country is being destroyed by quirks every week, basically. So it's like, yeah, the Japanese economy is probably completely destroyed in the My Academia universe. It actually should have been probably a long time ago, like season 2 or something. Yeah, you're like, it doesn't make any sense, though. It doesn't make any sense. So I like this whole scene here. It's like, yeah, this is gonna infect the whole market and so on. And that being said, though, they kind of allude to a point that with this baseball Earth scene that, if he crashes Nikkei, that's gonna like crash the whole planet economy. That is not true, though, because Nikkei is not big enough for that, so the plan itself wouldn't actually make it happen. But sure, like if they destroy Japan and they keep doing this stuff in other countries too, we can keep destroying the planet. But I was like, man, yeah, this is very true. Like, who would ever invest in Japan in this universe? Because I mean, and as a side note, or whatever we call it, I do find it a little bit weird, and I guess it's the whole star and stripe thing, right? It does seem kind of strange, and I think it's a mistake, honestly, in the world building anime. That why is Japan so uniquely bad? Maybe it's explained later in the end of the manga. I don't know. I haven't read the manga up to the point last season, right? But maybe it's explained like why is Japan like everything is bad is in Japan. But it does feel a little bit like this is alluding to the whole thing that all the best quirks, all the worst enemies, all the worst villains, whatever, they're all in Japan, right? Like what's happening in Europe, At least we put it in Europe. What's happening in Africa? It's like does no one have any quirk over here? It's certainly. It's a little bit weird world building, and I think that honestly is a big mistake in My Academia. I think that Japan should not be uniquely bad. I think it would be a lot better if the storyline was that every other country, or whatever, right, roughly the same amount of people, would have roughly the same amount of issues. So, for example, Europe, obviously, one country in Europe isn't as big as Japan, right? But like the European Union or whatever, like in total, should have more, crazy quirks or whatever than Japan and so on. It's just weird, man. No, but I always live stream My Academia every Saturday. I always been live streaming My Academia since like the beginning, bro. but I was just saying that right there. It's like I think it is a big mistake, honestly, in My Academia that the author has certainly made it that Japan has all the best and the worst quirks, right? He could use said that. Oh, back in Europe, it's the same thing over there. America, they got a lot of troubles, man. Have you seen those Americans? They're crazy. They all got like gunpowder. They all got American powers. It would be kind of funny though if America was way worse. Everyone in America is so aggressive, whatever. Right? If anything, honestly, not be that guy. But if everyone got quirks, I think that Japan would be way more safe to be in America. Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. I think that the Japanese society, if everyone got powers, would probably still be more stable than America, which is a lot more extroverted, and people are a little more aggressive and less, because on a cultural scale, right, Japanese people are more, orderly and they follow the law more and so on, right, as a general population. So, if anything, Japan probably be one of the safest countries if everyone got quirks, right? But anyway, I do think it's a big issue, honestly, and this whole stock scene kind of reminds me of that, right, where you're like, I guess he has crashed the stock market in Japan, but I wonder how the rest of the world will be, where everyone has quirks and they're a lot of fun. Because in the same time, right, I guess what I mean is that wouldn't there be other supervillains in every country? Wouldn't like Sweden also have supervillains? I would be supervillain. Yeah, and destroy OMX then or something, right? Wouldn't the other countries also lose a lot of money and so on and have all this chaos? Because I'm sure there would be a bunch of other super bad quirk users in every country that are destroying their stock market and so on. Yeah, it's a little bit like it probably would be an issue everywhere. We haven't finished FF7 yet. Jesus Christ, man! I just read your comment, Space Pirate Lord, and immediately I was like, "Oh god, you haven't finished FF7 yet." And remember that you're playing too much Rei Dogma. Jesus Christ, man. Man, that game feels like aeons ago now, right? I'm still playing like Stellar Blade. I'm the last boss there. I played Hades 2 before, in between that and so on. FF7 feels like like a lifetime ago now. But as a side note, it's been really, really good games coming up this season, or this year. I mean, this season, whatever. Yeah, this year has so many good games though. It's been like the best video game year in a long time, right? And I said a few times before, but when it comes to this year, I must say that necessarily has all the best games ever done or something, right? But it's just a lot of like really good games coming, all on the same time, one after another, so on. So there's some kind of record over that, absolutely. I mean, there might be other years that honestly has more good games in total, but usually the games are better like separated, right, from each other release dates. Now it's been like every good game almost comes on the same mountain, so it's been crazy. So I still haven't played Rise of Ronin. I still haven't played that game. And Elden Ring DLC, that's like 2-3 weeks from now, right? That's a good point. We're gonna stream that, of course, here on the channel. That comes out, right, obviously. Of course. But actually, I have an issue with Elden Ring that I remember now, is that I bought Elden Ring for PlayStation 4, and I obviously rather want to play it on PlayStation 5, right, for the DLC. So I wonder if I can buy. Do I have to buy the 5th version first then? Can I upgrade it? You know what I mean? So that do I have to buy, or should I just buy the DLC for PlayStation 4? I don't know. So a little bit. Yeah, I'd rather have it Of course, Persona 5, right? Something like that. But I don't know. This episode, Macadamia, definitely a good episode, and I'm happy with the ending there. We're finally getting everyone to fight, right? And I'm gonna stream my lungs out that it feels like an Avengers scene. That is so similar to the last Avengers movie, where it's like I got my own friends, yeah, summoning my dudes. And then after that, Marvel never made any more movies. Yeah, that's a sign. Yeah, Spider-Man, ignore that. They never made any more movies. Yeah, after that Avengers movie, nothing ever happened in Marvel. They didn't make those other movies that no one ever saw, man. No one ever made those movies. And I don't know if I'm gonna even do One Piece. Side note, yeah, I guess I can say it here then. Say it earlier this week. One Piece tonight. I got a copyright strike on One Piece again, right? You know, my last copyright strikes, the last 3 of them, are all on One Piece, right? Same company. So I don't know, bro. Like, I might not do One Piece tonight. Or if I do it, I'm gonna call something else then, or whatever. But I'm gonna have to do them without showing anything. I can't even do this kind of, still frames. And yeah, we will see. If it's not a good episode, I won't cover it. I mean, honestly, the pacing is terrible. But yeah, don't get me started on Starship Stripes, man. Don't get me started on Stripes now. We ignore her. Let's pretend. I said it a few times now. The Starship Stripes bit, that's clearly a filler. It never happened. Yeah, it never happened. Episode 1 and 2 never happened, bro. Never happened. We're at episode, like, this is 5, but actually episode 3 this season. Yeah, 1 and 2 never happened, right? Never happened. But honestly, yeah, on the One Piece thing, it's kind of funny. I said it on the video too, but I got a copyright strike on One Piece almost exactly a year ago. It's for the same company. So they're the notorious like troll pirate company that just throws out strikes because they get money for it. And it's ridiculous that if it's really like personal, where they're like, wait, didn't you give me a strike exactly? Like, I mean, I'm not joking. That they gave me a strike exactly 1 year ago in a One Piece cycle, like, episodes, yeah, like it's like almost a same date. It's like, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna read the comments now, man. So I finish video. I don't read the comments. But you should check out the full video I made yesterday. I think it was really funny. So yesterday I did a video about. Yeah, but this strike is very different though. It's not true enough. This strike is very different because this company is not a Japanese company, and they're very notorious. Everyone knows the company. And I mean, it's very purposely made. They're coming exactly a year afterwards, on the exact same anime. So this is nothing like the other caps. I talked actually to Yabai Lee yesterday because his channel is in its strike mode still, right? And so on. We saw her name Stephanie that lost her channel and so on, right? But those people, and I have no problem saying it, because I said even public on Twitter, right, to him, these people have no understanding of the law. Like, seriously, honestly, it bothers me so much. So I wrote to him a few weeks ago about how he should present his case or whatever, right? But yes, I saw Yabai Lee yesterday. He got his strikes removed, right? But he's still losing his channel. And I'm just like, yeah, bro, of course you are, because you don't understand the system. So basically, what he's doing is that he got so many strikes, right? He got way more than 3 strikes. You can only have 3 strikes, then you channel it. But he got more than 3 strikes. What happens then is that YouTube collects all your strikes in one grouping, right? So basically, a list or an array then, or a vector. So they basically are think about this, right? So you have strike 1 has every element in it has to be removed. So in this list, right, of elements, every element in the list has to be removed, whereas the strike still stays, right? So if he can't notifies one video in that list, it's like 5 elements in the list, right? That he has 4 elements left that has to be removed to get the strike removed. So yesterday I saw him again tweeting and doing this thing with YouTube, and I'm just like, bro, stop, bro. I told him like a week ago, I was like, don't do that shit, right? Because YouTube obviously knows the law and they know the system, right? So he's just exposing himself as having no understanding of actual legality, right? And then of course makes YouTube won't take his side, right? YouTube is gonna just put him in the blacklist, you know what I mean? They're gonna be like, what is that doing? That's not how it works. You know what I mean? Like, every time you contact YouTube, especially if you're public on Twitter, right? And you are doing it wrong, You know what I mean? You're doing it legally wrong. YouTube won't take your side. It's gonna put you in the further way, right? So both of them, from a legal standpoint, are absolutely in the wrong, right? And they just make it worse every time, right? And I'm just like, my God, man, how can it be so hard? Like, read the law and contact them properly, you know what I mean? And in his case, like I said, the current case of his case, right, of Lee's channel, he has to, of course, content notify every video in that list, right? As he can get the strike away. It's very, very straightforward. And trying to fight with YouTube over it. So, well, you removed one of my videos. Yeah, but you have 4 more left you have to remove on that list, right? Whereas he won't care about it. And that's how it's always been like that for the last like 10 years, like a decade at least. Like what are you talking about, you know what I mean? No. But YouTube, not only won't YouTube not spend time to help him, YouTube will do the opposite, right? Because if I told him this straight up in his face. I have a long Twitter DM with him. And I'm not probably saying this at all, right? Like I told him more than once. I was like, but every time you go to YouTube and you are wrong, right? You're legally wrong. You're technically wrong. Not only will it not help you, right? They will put you in some kind of blacklist system, right? YouTube sees that as, well, this guy is clearly wrong, so the strikes are probably accurate, you know? Why wouldn't they? If I worked on YouTube, I would be like, well, this guy is clearly doesn't understand how the law works, right? And he's writing to us here on Twitter, blah, blah, blah. I would be like, well, that probably means that those strikes should remain on his channel because he doesn't know what he's doing, right? That's the only way a company, a corporation, right, from their standpoint, every time you are openly wrong to them, they're going to be like, well, obviously if you're wrong, we're going to ignore you, right? So not only will they ignore him, it's like a negative thing, right? It's better to say nothing, you know what I mean? It's better to be quiet than to like attack them, right? And just be like, and just make yourself look like a fool, right? It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. So I didn't talk to him that long yesterday, but I basically was just like, come on, bro. I just told you like a week ago, we had a really long discussion a week ago, and I just told you that do not do this stuff. Do not write to them in a legally incorrect manner, because it's gonna piss them off, you know. It's like poke the bear, you know, poke the tiger. Yeah, I was like, don't do that. And yet you do it here again. I was like, come on, I just give up, bro. I just give up. Like seriously, I feel like, why do I even try to help him? Right, because I feel like it's just pointless, right? I explained to him over and over again how it works. And he's like, oh yeah, blah blah, we go back and forth, and then he still does the exact same mistake next week. I'm like, man, Jesus Christ, man, like why they even bother? That's how I feel, right? Because it's like, okay, that didn't help anything apparently. He didn't learn anything. Yeah, Steffi, she lost her channel completely. I'm not surprised at all. I read both of their copyright text right, and as I told him too, that's completely inaccurate the way they wrote it. And people are always going to angry, right, on internet and so on, right? How can you take the copyright stand or whatever, right? But like I looked at her copyright, right, and I looked at his copyright, I don't know what he said or whatever, and I also would have reacted them. You know, if I was a YouTube employee, I absolutely would have reacted both their what's called content notification, right? Because I saw his one, and she had like a similar one or whatever, and his one is clearly like it's badly written, right? That's the first day I talked about him. And I talked to Lee. I was like, but your copyright text here is wrong. Like you can't write like this. That what you're saying here is legally inaccurate, right? So why wouldn't YouTube reject you? If anything, I mean, I get that YouTube's copyright system is crazy sometimes because they're very inconsistent. I agree with that. So he got one of his, sent forward, and the other one rejected, and that is bad of YouTube, absolutely. But from a legal standpoint, YouTube should have rejected all of his complaints. That's the actual thing that happened. Yeah, I agree with him. They should be more consistent, but being consistent against their copyright stuff is rejecting all of them, not passing all of them, not the other way around, because their text is absolutely legally inaccurate. Right? And I used to work for Disney for this thing, right, back in the day. So I worked for Disney copyright like 10 years ago, and it's the same thing. The law has changed. The law is the exact same, right? Okay, the American law hasn't changed, right? And it bothers me. It reminded me of Totally Lot More case, which even got PewDiePie talking about it, right? The same thing there. That guy was lying his teeth about Toya and the law and so on. Those videos were so terrible, right? Totally Mark law. He was like, he made like 4 videos when he was lying in every video, like straight up lying about stuff. like lying working for Toei, lying about the law, lying about the system. And then we even see people like PewDiePie just saying the same lie. Oh, this thing, blah, that's not true at all. And it just proves to you that just because someone has like 100 million subscribers like PewDiePie at a time doesn't mean you actually know the law, right? You know what I mean? Like, number of subscribers has no value on how much you understand copyright law or anything else, right? Like, I could have 1 billion subscribers and I still wouldn't be able to build a rocket, or I would be, but you know what I mean? Rocket science is not, acquired by having subscribers on YouTube, right? Or whatever, right? Like, you don't get that skill, right? You know. So no, but that's something that I've seen for so long time now, that I think people that hang on social media, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, right? They seem to have this completely delusional take that YouTubers automatically know YouTube. And I mean, like, actually know as in copyright law, it's an algorithm, whatever, actually know like the actual, the system behind it. Not like how to make thumbnails or how to be entertaining or whatever, but people have this really weird notion that, well, if you're a big YouTuber, you certainly also understand the legal ramification around YouTube. And in every case, basically, no one does that. In every case, right? If anything, bigger YouTubers have least understanding of it. Yeah, it feels like, no, not at all. It's just like, no. Like, not for a second. But it's very, very much like that. Where you're just like, no. You, being a big YouTuber doesn't mean that you understand how YouTube actually works, right? You don't understand the code, how YouTube works. You don't understand how, like, analytics works or whatever, or this thing or that thing. I mean, certainly, the way I look at it, if you're a big YouTuber, that probably means that you're either entertaining, right, or you have some very unique skill that only you have, so you can be that, or you're the best, I don't know, juggler or whatever, I mean, just some unique skill, or you are really good at, like, thumbnails and what's trending and so on, right? Like Mr. Beast, for example, he seems to be a guy that's also very good at, what's trending, analytics, how to make a good thumbnail. So he's very good at that stuff, and has, of course, kept doing that and then increasing his subs, right? Very, very good at, finding out the trends. Especially when he started his channel, he was very good at, like, okay, this is good, giving money, give this thing, and so on. He's very good at, like, making that stuff, explode, right? So it's very, very much like that. But do I think that Mr. Beast knows copyright law? Like, if I ask him, okay, this law and that thing, he probably has no clue, right? Of course, he's rich now, he can hire someone, right? Obviously, yeah, like, why would he? You hire someone instead, or you hire someone, like a legal aid, you hire a lawyer or something, or, you hire someone that can do it, right? But it's just like, to be an incredibly annoying take, that people think that, the more subscribers you have, the more you know copyright law, and the more you know coding, something. The more you understand the code on YouTube. Yeah, it's like automatically this guy is certainly fluent in programming because he's on YouTube. Like, no. But yeah, and copyright law. But copyright law is also interesting too. Copyright law is interesting because it's a lot of gray zone too, right? But I will give you the example. One of the things I thought about that I mentioned with Lee. When I was like, but you're clearly wrong here, right? So, for example, this is something I told all YouTubers too, right? I told that Mark had the same issues that matter. So in Lee's, like, copyright, like, this is my right and I am fair use or whatever, right? He is arguing to YouTube that his videos are all, like, promoting the anime and manga. He's like, oh, this video, it makes people buy the anime, so people love it, and this is great or whatever, right? So ergo, I am in fair use because I am just promoting the anime, right? That's what his one of his main points are. But from a legal standpoint, that is absolutely irrelevant, right? From a legal standpoint, that's no value whatsoever, okay? Absolutely, obviously, I'm taking crazy bit. Of course, it has no value whatsoever how much you are arguably promoting the whatever channel. Total Mark did the exact same thing. I'm just promoting One Piece or Dragon Ball, whatever. He said the exact thing to Toya, right? Of course, from a legal standpoint, it doesn't matter at all, right? The company, fair use isn't measured on how much you're promoting stuff, right? Not at all. So it's ridiculous statement from the beginning, right? And it just shows you have no understanding of it. But anyway, but even more concerning is that in Lee's case then, when he wrote to YouTube, he's arguing that not only is he promoting only the anime, but he's only positive. He only gives some great reviews and this and that, right? Ergo, why would they go after me? I'm on their side, kind of thing, right? But, of course, in a legal standpoint, it is much better hating on the show, right? If you're critiquing the anime, say, this is garbage, 3 out of 10, I hate My Academia, it's the worst thing ever, right? If you're saying that, then you're a much better standpoint from a legal fair use, because critique, right, and parody, but critique especially is defended, you know, in American law, right? So it's much better to actually be negative, right? Because if you're negative, you're being more what's called transformative, right? If I just watch an anime and say this is the best thing ever, that's not being transformative. I'm just agreeing with what I'm seeing. I'm agreeing with the anime, right? That is not actually being transformative. But if I'm watching an anime and saying that, well, that thing is a plot hole, that thing is terrible, that character makes no sense, here's the reason why, blah, blah, then I'm actually being transformative because I'm explaining why some stuff doesn't work, you know, why it's plot hole or whatever. So from a legal standpoint, the more negative you are, the more you're probably in fair use. Like, it's very straightforward. So, but yet I see people all the time, Lee, Mark, and so on, they're always arguing that, oh, I'm just being positive, I am promoting it, I'm loving everything. Yeah, then you're not fair use, right? Then you're not fair use, you're not critiquing it at all. So you're basically admitting that you're not critiquing it, right? And if you're critiquing it, you're not fair use. So it's very, very bad written, and I saw his copyright text to YouTube, and he's basically writing that, oh, I'm just positive and this thing and that thing. So why would YouTube not react it? I would react it too. He did more than one mistake, of course, but it's like, that is not a good standing point. That you're positive. That just makes your case way weaker, right? So I think that's announced a lot, because then he writes to YouTube or Twitter, right? And he writes to YouTube Twitter and says, but I'm only positive, blah, 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 blah. But again, from a legal standpoint, YouTube is like, yeah, okay, but that doesn't defend your case, it's weaker, right? It's just ridiculous, man. I haven't heard about Backroom Channel, but sure, yeah, some people are probably, you know. But yeah, for example, right, personally, I always been extremely fair use, right? I've always been showing very little of the stuff, you know, the discussion, and also, of course, that I am very negative. I hate everything. No, but for example, certainly, yeah, you should have that, like, longer review. But it's like yesterday when I made my slime video, that video is like half review, half reaction, right? It's like 20 minutes, but the last 10 minutes is purely review, right? So it's very little actually reaction or like showing content or whatever. It's obviously fair use. And honestly, like I said earlier in my video, I only get issue with the exact same One Piece company over and over again. Yeah, which is crazy. Which is not Toei, okay? Like I said, it's not Toei. I only get issue with the same company over and over again. That just, but yeah, it's ridiculous. But last year, I got a copyright strike on my Zoro cosplay video. That's the epic Zoro. The full on. That's true. Yeah, Glenda is best waifu though, so Glenda is love it. But yeah, like type of slime. Well, yeah, like slime. Let's just people there know us. Yesterday, I just reviewed slime, and certainly I wasn't like super negative, but. It is true, like I said to you too, right? Is that I'm not a big fan of Diablo. I'm just like, nah, he's too OP. I don't love that too much. You know, it's like, you know, I'm not a big fan of that, right? That's a good example of it, right? Now, my video is actually more transformative from a legal standpoint, because I'm actually critiquing this character. I'm like, I don't like Diablo. I would like he wasn't in the anime. You know what I mean? I don't hate the character. I think it's the worst character, but I'm like, I don't really think I think he's too OP or whatever, right? Like, that's more transformative than me saying that, oh, best character, woo, you know, like half the reactors do, right? You know what I mean? So that's like, it's very, very clear in the legal standpoint, in American fair use, but also European fair use, which I thought the market was in, rather. It's very, very clear that critiquing stuff, you know, being negative or whatever, is definitely in your favor, right? Because, like I said earlier, if you critique something, you can argue and say that, well, my video is not only being taken down with the fair use, it's also being taken down because they don't like me, because I'm negative, you know what I mean? It's also a case, right? Because if the more negative you are, and they take you down, the more you can say that it's obviously censorship, right? They're censoring my opinion, right? You know what I mean? No, but seriously, think about that too, right? A lot of YouTubers, big channels, like for example Angrio had issues with, was it Halo? I think it was Halo. But Angrio, there's like, you know, 3 million, 4 million subscribers, right? He had issues with, when he was reviewing, I believe it was Halo, the live action show, they copyright striked him, because he was very, very negative. He hated it, you know. But all his videos was very, very fair use. His videos killer fair use. But, you know, that was like a pure vendetta, right, from the company. Because he made a very negative review, right? A lot of views on it. And people like, copyright, like, yeah, that's purely censorship. They tried to censor his opinion, right? So that's also one thing you can say. If you're negative, you can be they're censoring my opinion, right? But again, then if you're making these overtly positive videos, you can't say that. You can't claim that they're censoring you, because why would they censor your opinion? You stand for saying that whatever I'm doing, I'm just being positive. Well, yeah, okay, then it doesn't make any sense, right? It's like it's just like super obvious. I don't know. It drives me crazy sometimes, but it drives me crazy on more than one way too. Because lastly, I think it also drives me crazy. I think in more case especially, is that some of these YouTubers, right, or other people too on social media, they believe they drink in the Kool-Aid, right? I made a video about Kool-Aid this Tuesday, basically, right? You know, you drink the Kool-Aid, you get high, you know, on your own Kool-Aid, right? And a lot of people, they drink their own Kool-Aid, right? You know what I mean? So, for example, last Tuesday, I made a video about a game company that went bankrupt last week. Okay. I worked in that game company for a few years, almost 3 years, right? And now it's bankrupt. Okay. And a big issue that company had, right, was that the owners were Kool-Aid salesmen. Right? They were always like, drink this thing, it will become part of the family. Drink this thing, right? And they kept doing that. They kept, you know, trying to like. This is one of the owners. He was always like, we're a family and this thing and so on, right? So he's selling that Kool-Aid, right? It's like a Kool-Aid snakes man, right? Snake goes man, but Kool-Aid instead. And very interesting enough then, that meant that a lot of the employees, even if the company is clearly going bankrupt, right? That's why my thumbnail is a ship sinking, right? You know, it's like a ship going to a waterfall, right? So even if everyone is aware of that always a waterfall, like we're gonna get into the waterfall, obviously shortly from now, right? These people are not abandoning ship, right? So my video there was most talking about the psychology of the employees that are staying, right, on the ship that is clearly going down, right? And as I call it, yeah, a cult, yeah, exactly. And I call it like a cult, right, basically. It's coming into a cult, you know. So that's like a Kool-Aid salesman, right? The owner of the company, he's selling this drink that you get, you know, addicted to the company, right? Creating a cult, right, you know. However, that company also failed massively, right? Which I didn't take too much in the video, but obviously as well, because the owners themselves are believing in the lie, you know. Eventually, maybe even earlier, because these guys were incredibly competent, they are even believing in their own lies. You know what I mean? They're drinking their own Kool-Aid, right? Yeah, they're believing in their own like cult-like behavior too much, right? And that I feel is obviously terrible then, right? Because then they can't even try to steer it away because they don't see anything wrong with it, right? They have told this lie so many times that they believe in it themselves, right? But I think it's a bit common issue, right? You know, if you're trying to sell a lie enough times, you're starting to believe it yourself, right? Pretty common, right? And how do back to YouTubers, right? I feel a lot of YouTubers have the same issue, right? Where they're selling their own lives so much, right? That, oh, I know this thing and that thing and so on, right? So then when they get a copyright strike, for example, or a community strike or whatever, right? They just go and attack YouTube. Oh, you're wrong, YouTube! I know the freaking law! And they just go and attack on YouTube, right? But they have obviously drinking their own Kool-Aid to some extent. They're believing in the lie too much. Oh, I have 1 million subscribers. I know everything, F you, and so on. They're believing in their own fandom or whatever, right? They become a fan of themselves, or they will say it, right? And then they just go crazy and they attack YouTube. And YouTube might be in 100% legal correct, right? And YouTube is like, okay, I just banned your channel. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing, right? So I remember that guy. Oh, I can't remember his name now. But it's a YouTuber. He was quite involved in the whole, like, Quantum TV, in this, like, the Elden Ring copyright thing, where he would go on copyright strike. What's it called now again? The Act Man, because he critiqued his video and so on, right? And there was this guy, this tiny channel, that he blew up, right, on that Elden Ring copyright controversy. But anyway, last year I think it was, he made a video where it's like some kind of video game, I can't remember the name, but it's some kind of Minecraft lookalike game, right? And it's very obvious in that game that he is, you know, doing a adult act, right, specifically, with this, like, Minecraft character, basically, right? It's very, very obvious. It's 100% clearly, like and like a show scene, right? 100%, right? 100%. Like it looks ridiculous, right? I seen the video. It's obviously not okay on YouTube. It's obviously like against YouTube's community system, not copyright, community, right? Because it's like porn, right? So it's like this guy basically uploads, adult entertainment, right? Adult entertainment, right? On YouTube, right? So this guy does that, right? He's the guy, yeah, but not Quantum TV. This is the guy that got a huge channel thanks to Quantum TV. This guy got like by Quantum. And then everyone kind of felt sorry for him, so he got like 10,000 subs in one day or whatever. Yeah. Then anyway, that guy then after the whole TV stuff, right? He uploads basically porno on YouTube, right? Like straight up against YouTube rules, right? Even it's a video game, but you get my point. It's like clearly not okay on YouTube, right? Now YouTube, so he tweets about that on YouTube, right? And make a fuss about it, He contacts this other really big channel with millions of subscribers, right? They know him from this other stuff, right? And it makes all this fuss about it, right? I guess YouTube, because they gave him a strike, right? A community strike. YouTube bans his channel. YouTube is like, F you, yeah, and just ban the channel outright, right? So he content notifies, right? And YouTube is like, you're banned, right? YouTube is like, no, we reviewed your video, banned, yeah. Because YouTube is like, no. Because first of all, that his video probably just got taken down by bots, right? His video probably was like, no, this is seen as, sex, so this is like, the bots took it down probably, right? It probably wasn't even like, a manual review, right? Now he's making his fuss, right? He's sending his counter complaint to YouTube. YouTube is like, oh, but now we reviewed it. Yeah, now we reviewed it manually. This video is definitely illegal. So they're like, bam. Yeah, they're like, ban hammer, right? It went from like one strike to immediately getting banned, yeah. So, and that, in my standpoint, is like 100% correct from YouTube, yeah. Because his video clearly broke the system's rules, right? At 100%. I said the video, 100% against it, right? But because this guy, he's drinking his own Kool-Aid, right? He's all smug, he got like hundreds of subs on the whole TV stuff, right? He's like, oh, I'm famous, I'm a celebrity, I can do whatever I want, right? Video clearly against the rules, YouTube clearly on the right, and instead of just taking that strike like a man and be like, okay, yeah, it's my fault, right? He's like, no, I am famous, I can do what I want, screw you, I know the law. He has no idea about the law, right? YouTube is like banned. YouTube banned him immediately, yeah. He had only one strike, yeah, so he didn't even have 3 strikes. YouTube was like, no. Like, YouTube was like, no. Like, we clearly right here, yeah. And obviously, they were 100% correct. And I would do the same thing, right? I would do the exact same thing. If I was on YouTube, I would have banned that guy immediately too. Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? Because YouTube has this law system, right? That if you get a community strike, and which I never had for that matter, whatever, yeah. If you have a community strike, which is much worse than like, the corporate strike, if you have that, and then you counter notify that, right? They're basically telling you that if you do a wrongful, like wrongful, like I say, counter claim, right? We will ban you, basically, right? Because it's not the same thing as copyright, Community means that, again, you upload like porn, or you're doing stupid, or you're suddenly naked, or I mean that is some strikes you get because you broke some law, basically. You know what I mean? So YouTube is like, no, okay, if you counter notify that, we're gonna review that. And if we see that you are lying about that, obviously you're dead, right? Yeah, they're like, no. Yeah, like they're gonna be much harder, right? If you can't notify a copyright, like on anime or whatever, and you are wrong, or YouTube doesn't know really, they don't really care. They're like, whatever, it's about the company, it's like copyright, yeah. But because the community strikes, they really care, right? They are like, oh, no, this is against the rules. So for example, a lot of people, mentioned earlier, right, like Stefan and so on, right, they make their own new channels, right? That's against the course YouTube rules, right? They can get banned any moment, right? Making a new channel when you're already banned is obviously bannable, obviously. So that's kind of dumb, right? What can I say, right? That's kind of stupid. However, my point is that most YouTubers that make another channel after getting banned for copyright, YouTube kind of ignores, right? They don't really care about it. But some YouTubers that have tried to make new channels after being banned for community strikes, for example, this is one guy, like a famous P guy, right? That did a lot of crime with that, yeah. They get immediately banned again, right? So it's always way worse on YouTube to fight with YouTube on community strikes, because you can take that really seriously, right? And it comes back to my early point of it, this guy being like, oh, he's all full of himself, He's speaking that cool. He's like, oh yeah, I'm the best, man. I'm, that way, right? And he starts fighting YouTube on again community strikes. And YouTube is like, no, we're not having this at all. Yeah, YouTube is like, oh yeah, let's go. Yeah, YouTube was like, oh yeah, you want to get banned immediately? Yeah, they were like, oh no. That being said, though, unfortunately, that guy, I think he got his channel back thanks to the Actman, right? Because the Actman's a big YouTuber, and a bunch of his friends and so on, they all were tweeting and making videos about it and so on. And eventually, I think they managed to get his channel back, right? So unfortunately, it's always right on YouTube. Law doesn't matter. YouTube is like how famous you are matters, right? Or if you have famous friends, then you know what I mean. So unfortunately, I think they all complained on YouTube for a few weeks, and they eventually reinstated him with 1 strike or something. But it certainly was like ridiculous. YouTube should have been like, no. YouTube should have been like, no, we're not doing that. YouTube should have been like that. But I think it's a great example of someone that is like, getting high on their own, like, recent fame, right, and being like, oh yeah, I can do what I want. I can do what I want, man. So it's. But it was so ridiculous because I saw the video and I was like, it's clearly against the system. It's clearly against the law. You can't upload that. And then it's like, okay, and then immediately, like, being, how's it? I mean, he obviously knows that what he did was wrong. He obviously know that it's kind of like, it's kind of like someone robbing a bank. It's like they rob the bank. And the cops capture them during the bank robbery, and they're like, "I didn't rob the bank." It's like, "Yeah, no, I didn't do it." It's kind of like that feeling. Like we just saw you, and they took you while you were doing it, right? It's one thing if you rob a bank and you get away with it, right? And then 10 years later, someone like, "It was you," right? Yeah. But if it take you during the act, it's kind of like, "Oh, I didn't do it. It was one other guy." Yeah. It's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous trying to pretend that you didn't do the crime if we take you when you're doing it, right? Like we actually got you, like. What is happening? But that's not the point, though. I won't talk about too much here. But I agree with that, generally speaking, right? Actman. I'll talk about too much his channel, but certainly his Actman, I'll say it, took a pretty big positioning, I guess, right? On the far left, basically. Yeah, he certainly took that. Yeah, it's kind of weird, actually. And I think it is kind of annoying because Actman is probably seen as probably before this as more right leading that person, or you probably would think so, with his fan base or whatever, right? And so on. But because I mean censorship and so on is commonly more a left thing, right? So the whole Quantum TV thing, the Elden Ring, and so on. That I mean, Quantum TV is acting like the typical, far lefty. If you say it like that, right? If we try to make it very basic here, but it's much more. The world is much more complicated, right? Than just left and right, up and down, right? Of course it is, but it's much more like that. So I don't think I think it's very bad. He was like, oh, is this YouTuber left or right or whatever? It's obviously much more complicated. But I think that one thing that the left is famous for, generally speaking, right, historically speaking, is censorship, right? DDR, Soviet Union, and so on, right? Yeah, the left is much more for censoring, opinions, right? That's a very left, right? It's always been a left thing. Censor freedom of speech, one. That's always been a left thing, right? So that's where the Actman kind of obviously is like, oh, this is like kind of weird. You spend like a year or two being like super freedom of speech. And then suddenly you're like against other people that are speaking their opinion and trying to censor them, right? And then and then a lot of people see it as a moving left, right? That's what people see, yeah, the moving left. Then, but for me, it's more like, again, it's more that factor, right? Okay, you're going from like you're like used to be, you used to be against censorship, and now you're kind of pro censorship, yeah, like that. It's an obvious change in actions, and I have no idea why, because the guy uploads like a video per month or something. I don't know. I don't watch his video content really, but he uploads like a video per year. He uploads very few videos, right? So it's kind of hard to follow someone like that. Some people, right, they upload a video per day, right? You can kind of see how, if they're changing their behavior, if they're, maybe going politically whatever, or if they're getting ridiculous or whatever. I mean, you can kind of see it because they will gradually, change them every day, right? He follows on YouTube, which does a lot of content, right? But smaller like him then, like a month or every third month or whatever, it's really hard to kind of see as a kind of flow then, right? Because he can jump a lot then, his like personality trait sometimes. That's true. I mean, some people are just very non-consistent. That's very true. That's very true in general. I'm just gonna see, the anime is out now in English. Bam. Probably the thumbnail. Forgot about that. No, I was just thinking about it now then. To make the review. Yeah, edit it and make the review. I like to do the review afterwards, right? Which is mostly the beginning of the after the reaction, but I also add. So honestly, in one way, I always do a review bit as well, Macadamia. And honestly, I kind of feel like the review video, which I will edit now soon, is usually better because the way I do the reviews is that I take the best part of the reaction, right, and then I edit in the review bits that we saw earlier. So it kind of feels like you get in like the summarized reaction bit and review bit. I don't know, but it's kind of fun to think about it. Like, man, this review videos are probably way better. the reaction is the whole episode, right? But I think that from a YouTube standpoint, I think it's because I have always done live reaction to Macadamia. It's been the longest live reaction anime I've done, right? Because obviously it's like Macadamia seasons. I didn't do it the first season or whatever, but since I started my channel. And I don't know, so it feels like tradition, right? But for most other animes now, I tend to just kind of edit them, you know what I mean? It's like a few animes that I watch the whole thing, like Konosuba, potentially Demon Slayer. It's kind of like that, right? But the other animes, I kind of like to edit them, right? I like to actually kind of make it just faster, use the best bits, right? I think one reason why, honestly, is because having done it for a few years now, I'm just a way better editor, right? And I just mean that as better as in, I'm just better, but I mean like I'm faster, right? I am really fast now editing, so I'm more efficient, right? I think that's one reason why as well, that I can just edit my own videos really quickly as well, so it just feels less of a work, I can do it in a few minutes, stuff like that, right? I don't know, but it's a little different with these animes that you really care about, you've been watching for a long time, right? But honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna do Kadyu number 8. Oh yeah, I heard about the wife hiding. Yeah, but I saw it on Reddit. The blue-haired. Yeah, I know that. I saw her character. But I'll say last, you guys, because I want to go and edit the review now before I forget. Now I was like, man, I forgot to do the review, right? Like I said, I usually only do one video per anime these days, but Macadamia is tradition, so I have to do the review, I feel. But before I forget, I actually don't know if I'm gonna do Kadyu number 8 today, because that anime is tracking really poorly. No one seems to really care about it. It's like 100 views per video, sometimes higher than that, but it's just like 100 to 1,000. No one really cares about Kadyu number 8. And I don't know, like I'm not really feeling it, right? I don't know why, but actually I do know why for one reason, but like Kadyu number 8, it's incredibly similar to like shonen anime in general. I mean, obviously it's stolen Macadamia straight right upright. Episode 4 of Kadyu number 8 is almost the exact same episode as Macadamia episode 4. It's ridiculous. Like it's almost like frame by frame stolen the episode. Like it's absurd, and it makes it feel like really predictable. For one reason, but honestly, Kadyu number 8, I'm struggling with it so hard because it feels like it's like every anime trope, right? It's all the shonen tropes, whatever. But nothing is better, right? People like to complain about shonen being stale and whatever, Black Clover and so on, right? Macadamia and so on. They're copying One Piece or Bleach or whatever. But at least they do something better, right? Sometimes. But Kadyu number 8 is just like, I have a hard time with it because it is so incredibly similar to most of Macadamia, but it just feels worse. So I'm just like, I don't know, I don't feel it. And yes, Air Monsters is the worst thing ever. Air Monsters has like the worst, like Air Monsters, you should watch my last video, or my two later videos. I'm just sitting there roasting it, yeah. Like Air Monsters has no animation anymore. Air Monsters can literally be the worst anime I've seen in like 10 years, like literally, from an animation point. Not about the storyline, but like, well, there's not much story either in the episode, but Air Monsters They are like literally all these still frames. Like the last episode this week, it is literally like 15 minutes of like no animation. Like every scene is just like panel chant, you know. It's just like they have like a still frame, and then this is the level of animation, right? This is moving. They're moving like the still frames. Like it's ridiculously bad. Like it's this absurd. It's so bad that it gets funny. Like it's entertainingly bad. Yeah, it's like, what is happening? What is happening? Like it started maybe 4 or 5 episodes ago. There's a fight, and the character, she's like flying on the screen, right? So they're not sort of animating her running. She's just like flying like this, right? She's like, you know, like, her legs are just like stiff, and she's like moving like Superman. So, but that was like 5 weeks ago. Now they're not even doing that. Now every scene when they're fighting, it's just like a person, you know, standing with a sword, and then a still frame, and nothing happens. Yeah, and he's like frozen. And there was once in that episode where it's just a black screen, okay? It's a black screen for like a minute, and they're fighting. You hear the sound effect, but nothing is being shown. Like, it's just so bad. It is so incredibly bad. Like, it seriously is absolutely the worst anime this year. Absolutely. Like, incredibly bad. It is like absurdly bad. So, I said it last episode, I'm only watching it now because it's like fun to roast it, because it is so bad. Like, it's absurd. And then last week, they introduced like 20 new characters, but they just kind of jumped in there because they skipped over when they actually introduced something. So you remember now Tokyo Ghoul was like suddenly have 40 new characters just on the screen. It's like, where did they come from? It's like, nah, we skipped over the introduction chapters. It's like, you know, it's that feeling too where it's like, oh no, yeah, we just skip over like 10 chapters suddenly. It's like suddenly they skipped over volume 9 or something, you know, right? It's like volume 8, volume 10, for whatever reason, right? So suddenly in volume 10, it's like these 20 new characters. You're like, where did they came from? Where did they came from? It's like, it's so weird. It's so weird. Yeah, but Konosuba is great anime. Konosuba is really good. It definitely looks different though than the previous seasons, but yeah, but Konosuba, I think they made it even better in this season because they're like, what can I say? They make it even more, lack of better words, animated, right? Aqua's even more, you know. Yeah, I think the new season of Konosuba is even better than last, from an anime standpoint, because yeah, they made the character even more like it's more like that, right? So they're more moving the arms, they're more the faces and so on. Yeah, I think it's even better. Definitely works a lot. But anyway, guys, I'm talking to you guys. Now I have to make the review right before I forget. Should be out like half an hour ago. I was like, oh yeah, the review. Usually I make it after the anime is out, right, and the proper video and so on. But yeah, I have not decided. You know what? I will do this thing. I will watch Kaiju number 8 today, and I will record it. But if I don't feel like, oh my god, it's the best episode ever, I'm probably not gonna upload it. I don't know. And obviously, Air is a loser. Everyone knows Aqua is the best goddess, and Air is a loser. Come on. But seriously, what do you think about that? Because I'm not feeling Kaiju number 8. And I don't think the numbers are feeling it either. I don't see anyone having a good views of Kaiju number 8. And I'm not feeling it. And I think it's very clear why I'm not feeling it for. Because it feels like a bad copy of other shonen animes. It just makes everything worse on it. But yeah, I think today I will react to it, so to speak. But I won't upload it if I just think it like whatever. Maybe I drop it on some other platform, but I don't know. It just feels like, yeah, I don't know. You know, like I honestly, if I didn't do this channel, then I probably would have dropped Kaiju number 8 a long time ago, episode 4 or something. Yeah, I probably dropped it way faster. I dropped, for example, what's called Windbreaker, right? I kept watching Windbreaker for a few episodes. I watched episode 1, right, and reacted to that. Then I kept watching it, but I dropped it episode like 5 or something. I was like, I can't do this anymore. They've been doing this one fight in this like theater for like 5 episodes. Like I can't do it. This is not that good enough. Yeah, like I don't know. Windbreaker, I liked it in the beginning, but I quickly was like, no, this is pretty bad. Yeah, like the character is fighting, and there's like no personality or something. There's like no jokes. I don't know. I just I couldn't even get through like episode 4 or 5 or something. Somewhere around there. I was like, oh my god, this is fighting. And some people tweeting episode 8 something. This is fighting is in place. I'm like, my god. That I think is pretty miserable because you know you have like a bunch of cool Yankee Yakuza guys, but you basically have no, how say it, there's no like introduction to them. Like the main character basically joins a party of dudes in like one episode. Yeah, you're like, yeah, but you're missing out on not much. I feel you're missing out maybe on Demon Slayer, I suppose, or something like that. I think like Demon Slayer, right? It's not like the best thing ever in the world, but yeah, I think Fenris is really funny though, and you know I like that anime a lot. Yeah, of course Rei Todoroki Momma, but Fenris is just like amazing. Fenris is just like, I did not think that the anime was gonna be my new best isekai from the new isekais, right? Because we had like a couple of other ones, so I was like, yeah, you know, it's pretty good, like 17 Prince, everyone's story, but Fenris is awesome. But I think it's a lot of part of it. It has one of the best voices, right? It's Kugemiya-san, Queen of Sundere. It has like the great one of the absolute top 10 like voice actors of all time though, doing the main character, the female main character. So that's like half the anime, you know. She's like, darling, yeah, that's like half the anime is her. yeah, she's Lumen. She's like, Danna-sama! Like, as soon as you get the opening, right, you know how much I love the opening. Yeah. As soon as you get the opening of Fenris, she's like, Danna-sama! You're like, okay, now this is good, man. This is gold. Yeah, the opening is so good. I watched it so many times. It's such a great song, man. And she's singing the whole song, and I'm like, yeah, this is top quality, man. Top quality. Yeah, and I like that too. I like that they got married last week. That's great too, man. It's, you know, so many animes for you like, oh my god, why don't the main characters marry the crazy waifu that's around them all the time, right? There's so many isekais, especially like that, with the main characters like surrounded by the crazy thirsty waifus, and they always try to get some. They're like, and yet he's like, no, I don't want it for some reason, right? It never makes any sense. Yeah, it never makes any sense. You're like, but come on, bro. That's funny too. Yeah, it's a good anime. It's really funny. It's not like Mushoku Tensei well written or whatever, but it's really funny. Yeah, Fenris is like funny anime. Yeah, because Bella Rosa is funny too. And then we got the muscular farm lady too. It's a great design. No, but it is like it's a really funny anime. What more is it? I mean, I say it was Loom, of course. You know, you had Loom, final arc of Loom right now. Yeah, Slime, and tomorrow, yeah. But I definitely feel that I watch fewer and fewer animes every season. And if this season didn't have so many good animes, I probably would go even down lower, right? Because I don't know, man. But it's like there's so many mid animes, so many mid stuff. But anyway, guys, I'm talking to you, and I'm gonna go over and do the review bit, and then I probably go to the gym, and then man, this is what I mean. I feel like it's a chore watching Kaji number 8. I feel I'm like Kaji number 8 is 4 hours now. I feel I'm gonna go to the gym until Kaji number 8 comes out, and I feel like I'd rather stay at the gym, do more push-ups or whatever, basically, and do more like pull-ups or whatever. Yeah, like do more stuff at the gym than watch Kaji number 8. And I think that's kind of when you know you stop the anime, where it feels like a chore. I'm only watching it because people keep telling me that Kaji number 8 is gonna be the next new shonen. I'm like, I'm not seeing it, you know. I'm like, yeah, it's okay, but I'm not seeing it. It feels like I'm watching it. It's like, okay, when does it start to be the next new shonen? You know,